up, my fantasy football fam? Let me go ahead and kill that second audio so you're not getting any echo. Welcome into another lovely episode of your Fantasy Tune-Up Weekly. Yes, we're here. We do the homework for you every week to help you win your fantasy league. We're heading into a bye week for a lot of teams, 6 teams to be exact. So there's a lot of players across the league, a lot of fantasy owners across the league that are having players on bye week this week. You're going to need backups. It's very important who you pick up. These are crucial weeks. Some people are probably sitting at 5-2. Some people are probably sitting at 2-5. These are the most important weeks. I'm in that boat. I'm sitting at 2-5. I got 4 people on bye. I can't afford a loss here. I lose here, I have to win out. The goal for me is to win out, but I was hoping I would be sitting at least at 4-3 going into this bye week, knowing that most of my heavy hitters are on a bye week this week, and I was hoping that this would put me at 500, could take a loss here and move on. But now I'm in a situation where it's like, man, I can't not afford to lose this week. So it's going to be very important for a guy like me sitting at 2-5 to flex in players that are going to be able to put up a good performance, 20-point performance. It's what we're looking for on Fantasy Tune-Up Weekly. We're looking for those players that are going to give you that 20-point performance. We're looking for those players that you need to be sitting. If you tuned in last week, you would have sat Saquon Barkley this week. You also would have sat him the week before if you tuned in the week before. You would have played Arondé Gadsden. You would have played Devontae Adams. I was letting you know when to sit and start A.J. Brown. Got to tune in weekly. Turn on that notification right after you hit that.
Don't agree with it? That's too bad.
Like and subscribe anyways. So we got a lot prepared for you guys. So go ahead, get your drinks, your snacks, your pizza, whatever it is you're munching on here tonight, because we're going to fix your lineup. We're going to help you win this week, even though half your team is probably on a bye week. So go ahead, kick your feet up, grab your pen and paper, and get ready, because we going to dive in.
Well, all right, Aaron, it's been great talking to you.
subscribe anyways.
Like and subscribe anyways.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's that time again, your weekly fantasy tune-up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, with the 6 teams that we have on bye this week, the Los Angeles Rams, the Seattle Seahawks, the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Raiders, and there was one other team, the Arizona Cardinals. There's a lot of players across y'all's teams that are on bye week this week. And I don't know what your record is looking like right now, but these middle weeks are very important in the fantasy world. We got to make sure we get these wins, especially when we have a bye week. We want to come away with a win. If you can come away with a win on your bye week, you're most likely going to win your league. And I'm going to help you come away with a win on your bye week. If you have any fantasy questions about your fantasy lineup this week, go ahead and drop them in the chat. If you want to talk through it, you can go ahead and hit that link at the top of the chat. Join the Discord. Hop on up here. We'll talk through it. Let me know. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. So, before we get into that, we're going to run through our top 10 performers from last week. And Bo Nix, with almost 40 points, comes in at number 1 last week. He had 2 touchdowns, 279 yards. He also carried the ball 5 times for 48 yards and 2 touchdowns as well in that comeback win against the Giants. Christian McCaffrey, he's putting up big numbers. I was wrong about Christian McCaffrey. I can admit that going into this season. I definitely didn't. I was just weary. I wasn't doubting Christian McCaffrey. I was weary of the injury. Is he going to come back and be the same Christian McCaffrey we're used to seeing? Well, here it is. 39 points from Christian McCaffrey. 24 carries, 129 yards, 2 touchdowns, 7 receptions on 72 more yards. Just ridiculous. Jamar Chase comes in at number 38. Joe Flacco was able to connect with Jamar Chase all night long. He had 23 targets, caught 16 of them for 161 yards and a touchdown. Got him 38 points. Jahmyr Gibbs, again, he was all over the place for the Detroit Lions on Monday night against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. On 17 carries, he went for 136 yards, 2 touchdowns, 3 receptions for 82 yards. Jonathan Taylor again. This is week. I think this is like 6 out of 7 weeks so far. Jonathan Taylor has been in the top 10. With 16 carries, 94 yards, 3 touchdowns on 3 receptions and 38 yards to boot. 34 points from Jonathan Taylor. Devontae Smith. Now this one is an outlier. Devontae Smith with 33 points. Him and A.J. Brown had a very good game at the expense of Saquon Barkley. They were playing Minnesota. Honestly, I thought this game was going to go the other way around. It was going to be more of a game from Saquon Barkley, but considering the pass defense that Minnesota has, but the Philadelphia Eagles had other plans. Trey McBride against Green Bay. Now, this is just a really good matchup, but Trey McBride is the number 1 solid option over there in Arizona. And he's going to be on a bye this week. So a lot of you are probably, if you have him as your tight end, you're probably looking for a backup tight end to pick up this week. Now, Oronde Gadsden, I have been preaching about Oronde Gadsden being a guy that you guys should go pick up. But again, with Oronde Gadsden, it's very iffy. You got to look at the matchups that he's playing because there's a lot of weapons over there for Justin Herbert to distribute the ball to. So it has to be a prime matchup in order for him to be good and a lock. So like this week going against Minnesota on Thursday night, I would honestly stay away from that. But next week against Tennessee, I say it's a lock. Lock him in. Against Pittsburgh, probably not a good choice, but probably gets a touchdown. So, yes, Oronde Gadsden is an option, and he looks like he's still on 98% of waiver wires around the league. So he's out there for you to pick up. He was literally sitting on the waivers, scoring 29 points this week, sitting on everybody's waiver wire. And I guarantee you wake up tomorrow morning, that's more of like 30% rostered. He's going to get picked up. People are going to pick him up because of the big game that he had against Indianapolis. But that's just because Indianapolis pretty much had shut down everyone else. And Rodney Gadsden was the only one left open to feed. And that's the good thing about the Chargers is like they do have those options to where it's like, yeah, you could shut down Ladd McConkey. You could shut down Keenan Allen. But we still got this other guy, Quentin Johnston. Or we got Oronde Gadsden now. And it's like we do have the run game. So there's a lot of weapons over there. And that's why I say if you pick up Oronde Gadsden as your replacement for, say, Trey McBride or Sam Laporta. What other tight ends are out this week? I don't think anybody's using Michael Mayer. What other tight ends are out this week? AJ Barner. Although not a lot of people have picked up AJ Barner. So, and then you go down to Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen had a 28-point game. That's pretty consistent. Keenan Allen is definitely a favorite target for Justin Herbert. And that's just because of the chemistry they have. Like, Keenan Allen was the veteran receiver when Justin Herbert came onto the team. So, I do expect Keenan Allen to have another heavy usage and a heavy role against the Minnesota Vikings this week. Go ahead and keep him in your lineup. Jackson Dart is playing Philadelphia Eagles. This is the second time they played. They beat the Philadelphia Eagles the first time 2 weeks ago when Jackson Dart had his start, right? No, Jackson Dart got the start against New Orleans. Philadelphia was the second game. That was a Thursday night game, and they win 34-17 over Philadelphia. Jackson Dart had 243 yards from scrimmage and 2 touchdowns. $23 total fantasy points. Last week he had 28. Do we think he can do that again? I think so. And he's still on 50% of waiver wires around the league. So if you need a backup for Jared Goff, Matthew Stafford, who else? I know nobody should be playing Geno Smith. Sam Darnold. I don't know if people are playing Sam Darnold. Not a lot. Arizona. You're probably not playing Jacoby Brissett. Kyler Murray's out, so A.J. Brown. Do I think he has another good game against the Giants? The last time they played the Giants, he put up 14 points. Not a great game. It's okay. I think he'll do better this time, though. Yeah, I say you play him. And that rounds out our top 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Actually, A.J. Brown was just outside the top 10. But this week was a big, big week for fantasy. As you can see here, lots of players got 20 plus points. Lots of players got in the 20s this week. You have lots of players got in the 20s this week. Ridiculous. Rice had a big game in his season opener. Travis Hunter finally got himself a touchdown. He had a nice game. 8 receptions, 101 yards, and a touchdown. He also had a carry, but it didn't go nowhere. Joe Flacco. This one's questionable. I don't know if we should believe the hype here. I mean, Pittsburgh defense is really good. Thursday night game. It's also a divisional game against the Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't think we can trust that performance again, or we can rely on that performance again going against the New York Jets, who have been holding teams to a very modest point spread. I think there was only one game where their opponent actually scored over 24 points. But Jamar Chase is a weapon. And Flacco's a veteran that can use a weapon. So, if you need a quarterback and Jackson Dart's not available, considering he is rostered on 50% of the leagues around ESPN, maybe go for Joe Flacco and take the gamble. I don't think it would be a bad gamble rolling with Joe Flacco if you're down Matthew Stafford or Jared Goff and you need a backup quarterback this week. I would go with Jackson Dart over Flacco, but Flacco going against the Jets, Jamar Chase, I think he gives you at least another 18-point game. 20 would be the ceiling. I would say 13, 14 points is probably his floor. Now, like I said in the beginning of the show, we try and find you players that are going to put up 20 plus points, right? Because that's how you're going to win your league, right? You're not going to win your league nickel and diamond with 10, 12 points here and there. No, you want to find, if you got to put in a player off the waiver wire, you want to find that player that's going to put 20 points for you. And that's going to be Jackson Dart playing the Philadelphia Eagles this week. Like I said, he is on 50% of waivers around the league. So if he's on your waiver wire and your quarterback is on bye this week, go snag him. Go get him. Now that we rounded out that top 10, if anybody's got any questions, go ahead and drop them in chat, or you can hit the Discord link and you can hop on up here and you can ask them live. We can talk through it. So here's my team. As you can see, I got a lot of people on bye this week. I have both my starting running backs are on bye, so I definitely have to make some moves because honestly, I don't really trust Nick Chubb, and I definitely don't trust Nick Chubb against San Francisco after you've seen what San Francisco held Bijan Robinson to. So I'm going to need to find some running back help ASAP, which means I might have to make a trade to somebody around the league, or if maybe I can find a sleeper running back on the waiver wires to fill these slots. My tight end, I'm not worried about. I'm going to probably end up picking up Mason Taylor for this week, going against the Cincinnati Bengals. I think that is a much more prime matchup for Mason Taylor to have a good game. So let's look at running backs available in my league. We got Tajay Spears. They're playing Indianapolis this week. I'm not really big on that, but that is an option. Bro, I'm gonna have to go and try and make. I'm gonna have to go and try and make a freaking trade. I don't see nobody good. Kyle Manangai. He's like the backup, but Baltimore is a good prime matchup for running backs. So was New Orleans. That's why he had a decent game. DeAndre Swift had already done all the work. Sean Tucker playing New Orleans. That could be a good play. Or not. Or not. Yeah. I might have to go make a trade. I don't really trust Tyrone Tracy Jr. anymore now that they got Cam Scatabo. He had 9 carries, 46 yards, and a touchdown in a game against Denver. Now they're going to be playing Philly. He could see an increased role. But he has not been producing all year so far. So, and then Kareem Hunt, it's very hit or miss with Kareem Hunt. Like, they either use him or they don't use him. Washington's not a good matchup either. Alright, I need to find a running back. I'm going to be stuck playing Chubb and somebody else. I'm going to be stuck playing Chubb and somebody else. You know who's a good play this week? Dante Thornton Jr. Because he's on a bye week. Yeah. Ray McLeod, he's a free agent. He got released today by the Atlanta Falcons. Alright, so I'm going to have to go around my league and I'm going to have to look at players, other teams, and see if I can get a trade off. I'm gonna have to see if I can get a trade off. We're gonna have to look around leagues. Trayvon Henderson, Tyler Algier, no. No, let's move on. let's move on. Who's next? Who's next? Alvin Kamara, Corey Krosky Merritt, Rashad White, James Cook. Caleb Johnson, but I wouldn't take that. So she has 4 running backs. So I could possibly try to make a trade for one of them. I don't think James Cook is going to be... I don't think she would come off James Cook. And I would probably have to come off of somebody good. Where's she have a need? She's got Travis Kelce. Rashid, Shaheed, Justin Jefferson, Travis Hunter. I mean, I can try and offer Xavier Worthy. See if she accepts. Or I can try and sucker the Jameson Williams. But I'm a fair trader. Alright, let's see if they accept. And let's continue looking around the league. See what this guy has, because I know his season is over. I need to try and get Josh Jacobs. 10-23. He's expected to come back this week. There's no way I'm going to get that trade off in time. There's no way I'm going to get that trade off in time to get him. But he's going to be used. He's going to be utilized. I would take Josh Jacobs or fucking who's he got at tight end? He's got Jonnu Smith. He would have to drop some players, but that'll give him DeMarc Andrews is going to make him bite on that. Alright, let's see. Let's see. I also want Josh Jacobs, but I don't know if he's going to give up Josh Jacobs. I played Jimmy Jones Locker this week. He's the highest, scored the highest amount of points. His projected total is 85 minus 67. Because we have people on bye. He's got Brees Hall, Christian McCaffrey. Dylan Sampson, Trey Benson on IR. Tank Bigsby. I mean, he's pretty set. I don't think he's gonna make a trade for anything at all. Keep looking. Let's keep looking. Let's keep looking. Saquon Barkley, Kyron Williams is on a bye. He's got Rico Dowdle over there. Bucky Irving, questionable still. I want Deebo Samuel, damn it. Kamani Vidal, playing against Minnesota. Isaiah Pacheco, man. His whole team is out. Puka's out. Mike Evans is out. Kyler Murray's out. David Montgomery is on a bye week. Ollie Gordon is a bust. Oh, Jacksonville is on a bye week. Ouch. He's going to have to win without a lot of stuff. Nah, he's going to be on the waiver wire having to pick somebody up. Let's see, she got Scatterbo, Kenneth Gainwell, Derrick Henry. I would take Derrick Henry, but she picked him up in the first round. I know she ain't coming off of him. Snap Lice Traffic. Do I look at your team? Who you got? DeAndre Swift, Quinshon Judkins, J.K. Dobbins. It's only got 3. And, I mean, J.K. Dobbins would be a good one to get going against Dallas this week. So would DeAndre Swift. DeAndre Swift would be a good one to get going against Baltimore. Alright, let's look at the last set of players. Don't want Ashton Genty. I'll stay away from that. Tony Pollard is going to lose his job to Tajay Spears. I should probably go pick up Tajay Spears. That should be my first pickup. Let's go ahead and pick him up. Jordan Mason. Woody Marks. They got a lot of running backs. Jordan Mason, Woody Marks, Jaden Blue, Chase Brown, Ramondre Stevenson. This is our winner from last year. Been at 4-3 this year. RJ Harvey. What does he need? He definitely needs Javon Johnson, tight end. Alright, let's put a feeler out for RJ Harvey. This obviously isn't worth anybody spectacular. I would give him Jameson Williams, but he's on bye this week, so it's like I don't want to like. That seems like a bad trade, and I don't want to give him Mark Andrews because he literally dropped Mark Andrews, and I picked him up as soon as he dropped him, and then he put up a 28-point game, so that would feel like a slap in the face, right? Although I would easily be able to get him to accept a trade, but I'm not that type of guy. Like I feel like that would be a slap in the face. Like, hey, you dropped this guy. I picked him up. He put up a 28-point game. Now I'm trying to trade him away to you for a running back you got on your bench. It's like the running back I'm going after is not a great running back. But we'll offer up Rashad Bateman. Hasn't had a big game as of yet this year, but has big game potential. I mean, he's put up 29 points so far. Mark Andrews put up 50. Carson Wentz, the quarterback, has put up 62. So, I mean, it's not bad. Better than some of the receivers he has. Ish. We're just going to offer it up. Plus, it doesn't intermingle and mess up any of the other trades. Alright. So, I'm probably going to roll with my kicker and my defense again this week. I'm also going to roll with Danny Dimes again this week. Kareem Hunt is tempting, especially going against the Commanders. What's my waiver order? Who is going to put up points for me this week? I need to find a running back that is going to put up the points. Oh, he's on bye. Mm-mm-mm. Hmm. Interesting. Interesting. He definitely had an uptick in carries. Man, I don't know if it's worth trying to start him or not. We're just going with Cam Smith. I mean, Kareem Hunt. But with Kareem Hunt, you're like really banking that he gets the red zone touch and he gets into the end zone. Like, see here, 2 touchdowns, 18 points. Touchdown, 11 points. Everything else is just... So you're really hoping that he gets into the end zone. You're banking on him getting into the end zone. But with the addition of Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy, insert Travis Kelce, like, the run game there isn't appealing. See, Cam Scatabo clearly has the job won over there. If I move somebody to IR, I don't have to drop nobody, and I can just pick up a running back. Because I also have a double player trade out. So if they accept it, that means 2 players getting traded out. But then that leave me with no backup wide receivers. But I'll have 3. I'll have Devontae Adams, Keenan Allen, and Rashee Rice. But I'll have like a shit ton of running backs to choose from. And flexing tight ends week to week, which I'm okay with. Alright, so we're going to go do that. But first we need to move a player to IR. Oh, I can't. I can't because none of my players are injured. Go figure, right? We're just going to drop him. We're just going to drop him. Waiver order, 3 of 12. So I definitely should get my pick. Alright, so we'll just be waiting for the waiver wires there. Alright, so let's go look at some kickers, some tight ends, and some defenses for you guys to replace your missing pieces. Oh yeah, we didn't go through the wide receivers to replace your bye week receivers. On your waiver wire, Khalil Shakur at Carolina should be a really good lock this week. You can see here he does put up some decent numbers. I do expect coming off of a bye week, playing against Carolina, they're going to want this win here, because this win against Carolina might matter when it comes to seeding with the AFC East and New England Patriots. Because if I'm not mistaken, the Carolina Panthers, they did beat the Patriots, right? Or did they lose to the Patriots? I don't quite remember that game. So, needless to say, Buffalo needs to win that game against Carolina. Coming off a bye week, it should be very easy. Khalil Shakur is going to be a big part of that. He should put up 18, 20 points. Troy Franklin in Dallas. I say that he's a good pickup for this week. Dallas is a prime matchup. He doesn't have a lot of big games. It is very sporadic. And it's mostly because he fails to catch the ball. You can see here he got targeted 10 times, but he only caught 3 of them. So it's not like he's not getting the opportunities, he's just not seizing the day. But I think against Dallas, he should cash in a pretty decent game for you. Probably around 15 points. He's probably looking at about 60 yards on 5 receptions with a touchdown mixed in. Put what up on a green screen? I'm talking about who people should be picking up off the waiver wires to replace their bye week players. At the moment, Khalil Shakur is a lock coming off a bye week. They need that game against Carolina. If I'm not mistaken, the Carolina Panthers beat the New England Patriots, so when it comes to AFC East seeding, Buffalo needs that win on Carolina. Xavier Legette. Again, Buffalo defense is pretty weak. You see he had a pretty good game last week against the Jets. 9 receptions on 11 targets. But he doesn't always get that. The first 2 weeks he had a pretty good target share. But then got injured, came off of his injury, didn't really have a big target share. He did find the end zone in the Miami game off of just 3 targets, which was crap. Going against Buffalo, I'm not going to trust it. I would say stay away from that one. Jaden Higgins, they're playing San Francisco. Just stay away. I don't even want to play Chubb, but he's the only option I have at running back, so I'm going to have to play Chubb. Bro, I have 4 players on a bye. I literally just went through like my whole league and put out like 3 trade options for people that have running backs out there, because my waiver wire in the running back section is slim. I'm going to try and get T. Tracy Jr. Hope he can put up 10 points, like find the end zone for me. Luckily enough, like I have other players in places that will score me points to where if I can find me a backup that'll score me 10 to 15 points, I possibly could still win this week. But I can't afford to lose no more. I backed myself into a wall. I knew that most of my bye players were going to be this week. but I was also expecting my record to be a little bit better to where I can afford a loss if so be it. But right now I can't afford a loss. I gotta win it out, boy. I'm like the Miami Dolphins right now. I'm looking up at the rest of the league like, damn. No, I'm not that bad. I do have a couple wins, but it's not enough. I thought I should have been better than where I'm at right now. But I've had people put up major points against me, so I'm not complaining. Chris Moore playing in Kansas City. I wouldn't trust this. You're also gonna have Marcus Mariota back out there slinging the ball again. Let's look at what he was doing with Marcus Mariota. You can see here 13 points with Marcus Mariota and then 0. You can see here Marcus Mariota is really not using this guy, so that's not an option. Let's check out Luke McCaffrey with Marcus Mariota. He looks like more of an option here. Luke McCaffrey, as you can see here in these weeks where Marcus Mariota was in, he definitely got more production, more usage, mainly because he was finding the end zone. Hop on up, Cap. Hit that link. Hop on up here. You want to be able to show the waiver wire on a green screen. Yeah, but you're like, you got to set up on a computer, bro. Like, you're in your car, man. You can't do it on a computer. I mean, you can't do it on your phone. Got to have Dean putting it up there. You guys can't share your screens. What program are you guys using to display your cameras? You should be able to like have a screen share option to where, like, say Dean can share his screen. So like, take Discord for example, right? You can see me here in the green box. If you join in, it'll push me over, and then you'll have your little box. Now I can go like this, and I can share my screen. I don't even have to have that little screen up there. I can go like this. Let's share this one. Share. Bam. And there it goes. So now if we go in here, like for example, take this, just make that bigger. I go in there. And then you can share your screen. Yeah, it's a little small, but you can make it bigger. Like that. So there's ways to do it, Cap. There's definitely ways to do it. I think you just have to look into the programs that you guys are using, and maybe you need to switch up. I can hide the members and make it even bigger. I can pop it out and make it even bigger. telling you, Cap, spread the word. Send everybody over to the AFC Eastie Boys Discord. We got a new community getting built day by day. But enough of this thing. Let's make it smaller again. Put it back up here. Because we don't need to share my screen anymore. I was just doing that to show you how it works. You're just doing that to show you how it works. Alright, so since we went through the wide receiver list, we need to go back over here. Luther Burden III playing Baltimore. This could be a really prime game. He could get himself a big deep touchdown. I mean, that's kind of what you're banking on, is for him to get a big deep touchdown. But with this banged up Baltimore secondary, it is very likely that he could get it. But it's rolling the dice, so if you're in a really deep league and he's there, I would take the chance with Luther Burden. I would go Luke McCaffrey over Luther Burden, though. DeAndre Hopkins I would stay away from. Same with Cavante Turpin. Cap was saying Alec Pierce, but I don't know, man. Tennessee, it is a good matchup. It's a really great matchup. But do you think he's going to get another 10 targets, considering he only caught 50% of his target share that was thrown his way this week? I think it's a good option. I think Cap for Life hit that one on the head. I think he'll get you. I think he'll have another good 10 to 15 point game. Not a great one, but a good enough one if you're in a deep league and need a replacement.
Don't agree with it? That's too bad.
Like and subscribe anyways.
Like and subscribe anyways.
Who else? Who else? I think that's going to be it. I don't think anyone further down is going to help this week. Look at that. Mason Taylor. Cade Otton. Cade Otton is a good one to pick up if you're down Sam Laporta or Trey McBride. Considering Mike Evans is out for the rest of the season. Yeah, Egbuka is back, and they do have Tej Johnson, who's trying to. He's really trying to like make a name for himself for sure. But you can see here there's been an uptick in the usage of Cade Otton since all the receivers are depleted. Definitely a good option playing against the New Orleans Saints this week. So if you're in need of a tight end, Cade Otton is your best option as far as waiver wires go. 70% of leagues, he's on the waiver wire. So go pick him up. Mason Taylor this week playing Cincinnati. This is week 8 badges. Buy low, sell high. Players whose last 2 opponents had top defenses in the top 25th percentile based on score projection, and whose upcoming opponents are in the bottom 25th. Diamond in the rough. Players that are rostered by less than 85% of leagues and boomed by scoring in the 85th percentile with 2 consecutive weeks. He has the opportunity to have a big game this week playing Cincinnati. They're definitely weak against tight ends. The question is going to be, it's just there's so much questions around the quarterback, right? There's so many questions around the team. Like, you can see here that his production and his usage has gone up. The last 2 games, not so much. He did play Denver, only got 1 target and a catch in that game, and then the Carolina game targeted 5 times, got 3 catches on 31 yards. But against Dallas, targeted 12 times, got 9 receptions, 67 yards. He still has yet to find the end zone, so that's what's killing him right now. So will he be able to find the end zone against Cincinnati? I say yes. So Cade Otton, Mason Taylor, those are definitely your best 2 options for tight end if you're needing a backup tight end. Dalton Schultz playing against San Francisco, I wouldn't trust it. Yes, he had a good game against Seattle last night, but that's because Seattle's secondary was shutting down Nico Collins. Does he have another big game against San Francisco? I don't think so. Chig Okonkwo. They're playing Indianapolis. I'm going to stay away from this just because Indianapolis has been good. Theo Johnson for the Giants. They're playing the Philadelphia Eagles this week. This could be a good matchup for him to put up another 15-point game. So go ahead and pick him up. Pat Freiermuth, I would stay away. Yes, he had a 28-point game, but they literally have 3 tight ends that they use in packages. And which tight end is going to be the guy that gets the utilization from week to week? Who knows? The only person that really knows the answer to that question is Aaron Rodgers. And you know he already forgot. So he can't tell you. And that's going to be it. Like, yes, Oronde Gadsden is a tight end that you should have rostered for games, but not this game. This game against Minnesota, I say stay away. Stay away. Stay away. Boom, 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 boom. Defenses. Don't play Texans on San Francisco. Buffalo at Carolina. Don't do it. Ravens at Chicago. Don't do it. Falcons at Miami. Go ahead and play it. Chargers at Minnesota. Not a good move. Bucks at New Orleans. That is a good move. I might actually do that one. Bears at Baltimore. I would say that's a safe play. Jets playing Cincinnati. It seems like prime, but don't do it. Stay away. Commanders KC. Obviously, you know the answer to that question. And that's it. Yeah, so play Falcons D, play Bucks D, play Bears D. Don't play Jets D. And then all the rest of them can play these nuts. All right. I think Eddie Pinheiro this week, San Francisco and Houston game. Definitely going to be a field goal game, not a big touchdown game. Lock him in. Tyler Loop. Give me the loop. Give me the loop. Give me the loop. I like Tyler Loop. As long as Lamar Jackson is not starting, I like Tyler Loop. Why? Because Baltimore Ravens are most likely not going to get into the end zone unless Derrick Henry takes them there. But you can see here, they also don't get into field goal range either without Lamar Jackson. He's got 3 points in the last 2 games. So maybe you don't give him the loop. Maybe you give him the boot. Give him the boot. Give him the boot. Again, I think that game, San Francisco and Houston, is going to be a field goal game. Keami Fairbairn, if he's in your fantasy, if he's in your waiver wires, he's probably a good play this week. Nick Folk at Cincinnati. That's a good play this week. Same with Evan McPherson. Ryan Fitzgerald, Carolina at Buffalo. This is going to be a good play as well. If Carolina gets into the end zone, which I do think they will get into the end zone, it's not going to be often, but they are going to be able to move the ball down the field enough. I do think Ryan Fitzgerald misses a field goal, but I think he also kicks in 2 other field goals. So that gets you about 8-9 points. Minnesota and the Chargers. His last game he put up 18 points, but that was playing against the Philadelphia Eagles, where he kicked 4 field goals, 5 field goals, and 1 extra point. Carson Wentz led again. Could probably see that again. Put him in. Put him in. And then that's it. If you need kickers, that's all I'm giving you for your kickers. If you need a kicker, I'm not telling you anyone else, because there ain't no one else. That's all of them. Period. And if you don't agree with that, like and subscribe anyways. Give me the loot. Give me the loot. So we ain't got no more questions. We ain't got no more questions. It's been another wonderful episode of your Fantasy Tune-Up Weekly, brought to you by your AFC Eastie Boys. It's your boy Cat in the Hat, and we'll be back next week. But don't forget, next week it's going to look a little different from the AFC Eastie Boys. I do have to work all next week, so we won't be having End Zone to End Zone on Monday morning. Most likely won't be having our Fantasy Tune-Up Weekly on Tuesday night. Yes, we will still put shorts out throughout the week and keep you posted with our picks and keep you updated as much as possible. But our shows, it's going to have to get moved. They're going to get moved to next Saturday. That's right. They're going to be getting moved to next Saturday evening. And we plan on making it a party. It's going to be live. We're going to have giveaways. It's going to be fun. We're going to be doing our end zone to end zone. It's going to be our end zone to end zone fiesta party. We're going to have fun with it. Like I said, we're going to be doing a giveaway. So make sure you stay tuned in to figure out how you can win the giveaways. You're going to have to hit that subscribe button and turn that notification bell on. And you're going to have to make sure you're tuned in to every short, every video, every clip, every time we go on. Because you never know when we're going to drop how you win in the giveaways for our show on Saturday. It's also going to be a fundraising show. Because we'll probably be on for an hour or 2 hours, maybe even 3 hours. Having fun, kicking it, and having a good time. For the DCC. Gonna be raising more funds for the DCC. We less than $200 away from our first $500. What happens when we get to $500? This guy has to run a mile every day for every $500 that we raise.
Don't agree with it? That's too bad.
Like and subscribe anyways.
Like and subscribe anyways.
But you don't have to wait till next Saturday to make a donation. You can hit that link below. You can also find it on our page. You can go make a donation at any time. Help cancer research. Help in this fight against cancer. Charlie's Choice Collectibles. I think tomorrow is the last day of his accepting all offers sale. So if you have not headed over there yet to get you something good off Charlie's Choice Collectibles, I suggest you head over there ASAP. Because like I said, it's one more day left for his accepting all offers sale. What does that mean? It means exactly what it sounds like. You make him an offer, he'll accept it. Lots of cool stuff. Not just for football fans, but for non-football fans as well. It's also where you can get your custom AFC Eastie Boys jersey. Because everybody's got to have an AFC Eastie Boy jersey. Customized for your team. Customized how you want it. Can have your name on it. Can have your team on it. Can have a saying on it. Can customize it however you want. Base price for those, I'll let you know the pricing on those. Those are not an accept all offers type of thing. They start at $35 and then they go up from there depending on how customized you want it. We charge $100 if you don't want the AFC Eastie Boy brand on it. I'm just kidding. He's got jokes. Yeah, he's got jokes. And of course, we still got the Mike Gesicki signed photo giveaway going on. We're almost at 500. Who's going to be the lucky viewer that wins the Mike Gesicki autograph photo? All you got to do is subscribe, like, and share. Comments help too. Make sure you're coming back. You're coming back onto these live streams after they post. Leaving a comment behind helps get us in the algorithm. Helps keep us noticed. Helps keep us out there. That's the best way to show this channel love, because of the viewer that shows us the most love, that's who's gonna get it. Boom. Until next time, folks. This was your AFC Eastie Boy Fantasy Tune-Up Weekly. Peace.